Rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Radar, where we keep the Falcons on your radar. Thank you for joining me, Stan Parker, for another episode. Let's have a ballin' show. Thomas Dimitroff did it again. He added another first rounder to this loaded first round team. Now, the Falcons, the Dirty Birds, picked up a free agent this week, and it is not the position in which I thought it was going to be. I figured that they would pick up a defensive end from the market, from the little money that they do have, and fill that need, or maybe like a pass rush specialist, maybe like a Clay Matthews or Cam Wake, take a shot at Everson Griffin. There's some names out there that they could potentially have gone after, but they pick up Darquez Denard. I admit I've never heard of him, but he's a solid player, starter. He's a corner, defensive back, mainly played slot in this current stage of his career. He's a 6-year player. He got buried in the depth chart out in Cincinnati, behind Pac-Man Jones and the crew, and so he didn't get a lot of playing time until towards probably the end of his stint with Cincinnati, and he had like a weird contract situation going on with Jacksonville recently, that he was supposed to sign a 3-year contract, but he never did. It fell through for whatever reason, and I don't know. He was a first-round draft pick, like we said, 2014, and he's a Georgia boy. He's from Middle Georgia, really. So that's pretty awesome. Georgia boy. I always like that as always highlight of people coming to the Falcons that are from Georgia. He plays slot, and the way this makes sense is that Kendall Sheffield is young. He plays slot majority, and then that seems to be, I don't have any like empirical evidence of that right now, or factual data that backs up the point, but man, every time I watch it, and I mean, it's the NFL, it's today's NFL as well, but every time you watch it, you see, the slot receivers throwing across the middle, coming across the middle, a lot of traffic. If you don't have a good slot corner, it's going to be, you're going to have a long day. Just asked the Lions with Julio, and they drop him down the slot sometimes and drag him across the formation. Anyway, and so what sticks out to me in his career is that he's a great tackler. He's physical for a slot receiver, or for a slot corner. He will come up and get physical with you. He has there's a couple things that were like, just look out for. He's in his 6th year of his career, so I mean, he is what he is at this point. He's been doing it for 6 years. Just things to be like hesitant about. He's got average speed, which is, in the slot, you're not covering him for so long as he could keep up and play fast instead of running, I guess, in a 40-yard dash. So he's not going to wow you with speed. I mean, if you got Tyreek Hill in the slot, he's going to need some help over top. So, I mean, just, he's an NFL player for 6 years, and he's just a little average on speed. He's had injuries. So he's had a knee, a hamstring, and a shoulder. So I always get nervous when I hear those things, but it's the NFL, and people get hurt and injured, and that's just kind of how it goes. And along with that injury, he's played one full season one time in 6 years. Now, a lot of that is with depth chart stuff, because like I said, he was behind a pretty talented crew, Cincinnati, back in 2014 and 2015, where had a pretty good defense. They were going to the playoffs, but after that, the wheels kind of fell off, and he, so he's played one full season one time. And then, so I saw a lot of literature on that this could possibly mean that Raheem Morris is going to implement more man coverage than zone coverage because they've got so much versatility, I guess, or they've got the horses to do it. So this cornerback position group is going to go like on the outside. You're going to have Isaiah Oliver and AJ Terrell. With slot guy, you're going to have Denard and Sheffield, and in the backside, you're going to have, Keanu Allen. I just combined them. Keanu Neal and Ricardo Allen. So, yeah, that's really gonna boost their depth, and it could become. This is another exciting thing about what Thomas Dimitroff is done. For as much as everybody craps on Thomas Dimitroff and whether or not he should get fired, they've been talking about that for years now. Is it finally the year we get rid of Thomas Dimitroff? Yeah, he's made some bonehead mistakes, but on free agents and balling with the budget, like what he's been doing lately, I think he's been putting the best team together. Now, can he get on the field and make these plays or not get injured? No, but he can put together the best team he can, and he's done a good job along with Dan Quinn, with the backside, finding starting caliber players that, Brian. You think of Brian Poole, or you think of that he was undrafted. There's a couple other things like that. So drafting corners, picking up corners, I trust them in. So he could be. We don't know. I'm super duper optimistic. I always am, but heck, this could be the next Legion of Boom. This could be a start of something beautiful, a foundation of something beautiful. So I'll absolutely like to pick up. Now, it's going to depend on how much money they're going to have left. It's a 1-year deal, if it's a 3-year deal, that kind of thing. How much money is it right now? Whether or not that they could add another pass rusher, because I know Thomas Dimitroff does this kind of stuff where in the middle of training camp, he'll just be like, oh yeah, by the way, we're going to bring in this guy. And so, just be on the lookout for that. Who knows? You might not get any warning, but the contract information will come out soon, and we'll know something about that and kind of predict where they're going to go, next. So the next item I want to talk to y'all about is this NFL Top 100. This NFL Top 100. I always love watching these. They started these a couple years back, and I like seeing them. They're always fun. I always like to see, because they're always player voted. Is how I understand it to be, and it's a talking point right now. But they always seem to be pretty accurate in my opinion. They always seem to be the year Peyton Manning didn't even. I can't even remember the year now. The year Peyton Manning didn't play, he was number 1 because he affected everything. So I don't know. They were showing. So lots of times the MVP is always a quarterback. Very rarely does it. It's the best quarterback on the best team. That's just how the MVP works. But maybe lots of times that coincides. But it's the best quarterback because he's the most valuable position. Therefore, he's the most valuable player. That kind of thing. But I like the top 100 because lots of times it will highlight a defensive player or a different skill position or a different position altogether to be number 1. J.J. Watt being number 1, Aaron Donald being number 1, just down the list of high-ranking defensive players and getting love too that way. That's why I really like the top 100. So, but this year, I got to, and I don't ever do write or talk about the top 100. I like seeing the highlights. I like watching them. It's very entertaining to me to have peers talk about each other. Oh man, that Julio Jones is a freak, or Richard Sherman sure does talk a lot, or I like seeing all that stuff. But this year, I do not think he got it right, and it might just because for controversial sake. So here's number 1 through 10. In order. 1, Lamar Jackson. Now pause right there. Lamar Jackson is number 1 over Patrick Mahomes. Now that seems to be a smidge of a problem for me. And we're going to continue down the list until we get to Patrick Mahomes. Then we're going to talk about the $500 million man. Okay, Lamar Jackson, number 1. Number 2, Russell Wilson. Love it. Russ is my guy. He's a outstanding human and got a freaking cannon. He's a wizard and he's a Houdini. Aaron Donald, they always show him love, which is true because he is a mountain of a man and he is a freak athlete. Number 4, Patrick Mahomes. We got to number 4 without mentioning the $500 million man. I guess I'm not an NFL player, but I would definitely put him number 1. So, that's my opinion. You should just pick him. So you just stick him on top. We'll go Pat, Lamar Jackson, Russell, Aaron Donald, and that'll be your top 4. So I've already got a problem starting at number 4. I guess number 1, really. But, I've already got a problem with this list. And we'll continue. So 4 is Pat Mahomes. Number 5, Michael Thomas. Do not get me started on Michael Thomas. Mr. Slot Receiver himself. I mean, they should call him Slant Thomas. So, no, he's not better than Julio. Sorry, no. Christian McCaffrey, no problems there. Filthy. George Kittle. I like the player. Edgy. Giggles when he blocks people. He's just a burly man that likes to block. And and can outrun you. So, I like that right there. 8, DeAndre Hopkins. He's always up there because he's got hands. It's always the debate. It's always like Jerry Rice. So Jerry Rice is the number 1 receiver in the land, but then, boom, you got the next person is the hands receiver. Larry Fitzgerald's been the hands receiver. Chris Carter. So, there's always been hands receivers, and then there's been the other receivers. It's kind of like a subsect of receiver, and DeAndre Hopkins is our resident day hands receiver. He, for whatever reason, they just don't get love. I like DeAndre Hopkins, but I don't know. He's going to a new spot, and hey, so I like him in the top 10. And Stephon Gilmore, I'll be real with you. Don't watch a lot of Patriots. He's a corner for the Patriots. I stay away from the Patriots as much as I can. So, hey, a corner made it in the top 10. I don't know. I don't remember the last time that happened other than Richard Sherman, maybe. I don't know. Number 10, Derrick Henry. Surprise there. Definitely didn't expect him to be ranked that high. And number 11, Julio Jones. Julio Jones did not make top 10. Now I'm splitting hairs and semantics here, and it doesn't really matter because no one's getting paid or less money for making this list or not, and it's just a bunch of people putting together a poll for peers, and it's not really that big of a deal. But I got the problem when Michael Thomas and DeAndre Hopkins are above Julio Jones, several places above. And I don't think it's right. I just don't think it's right. And I don't have any evidence or whatever. I don't have to vent. I'm spitting from the hip here. This is a podcast about the Falcons, and I'm bringing it here. I think that's preposterous. And then, so to continue with the rest of the Falcons on the list, because we're going to pertain this to the Falcons, number 11 is Julio Jones. For number 11, Jet Jones. Number 51, the new Falcon is Todd Gurley. And then number 91, let me guess. Take a guess who it is. Number 91, first time he's ever made the list. Mr. Grady Jarrett. Yes, he cracked top 100 this year. I don't think he gets a lot of love either. I don't think the Falcons, is just in a general respect, just a general rule, they don't get any respect. They get no love from any of the national media. Now, this is peer-to-peer, whatever, but you notice who I didn't call out on this list? Let me read you the three Falcons. Julio, Todd Gurley, and Grady. Now, you pause the podcast right now and take a run through of all the people you could think of that didn't make this list. They should have made this list. You're going to come up with one or two players. Alex Mack didn't have that great of a year last year. You can't put him on the list. None other. Number 2, Matty Ice himself, the one glove wonder. He did not make this list. And let me just, oh my gosh, dude, I am about to just, I just get so frustrated the amount of shade that happens to Matty Ice. I am not a complete Matty Ice apologist. I will defend him to a certain point with statistics and like comparable stats. And I understand his deficiencies of he is not Aaron Rodgers or that kind of talent to win with a dumpster fire, that he needs pieces around him. But the names on this list is pitiful. All right. Number 1, these are all the quarterbacks that were taken instead of Matt Ryan. Or picked. Selected. Number 1, Lamar Jackson. Number 2, Russ Wilson. Pat Mahomes, number 4. Drew Brees, number 12, above Tom Brady. Tom Brady, number 14, looking mortal, looking like he's 67, like he normally is. Aaron Rodgers at 16, is he losing a step? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Number 20, this is where things get started dicey for me. Number 20, Deshaun Watson. Dig it. That's fine. I like the pick. He's a young whippersnapper, and he's definitely deserves that spot. Number 43, we jump all the way. We jump 23 slots. We get Jimmy Garoppolo. You telling me Matt Ryan's not better than Jimmy G? And then here's where it just gets, like, I can't even utter these words. 43, Jimmy Garoppolo. 46, Dak Prescott. Give me a break. 58, Kirk Cousins. Pathetic. 68, Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill threw for 80 yards and won 2 playoff games. He is the present-day Trent Dilfer. No thank you. 87, Josh Allen. You're telling me 87 is Josh Allen? You would not take Matt Ryan over Josh Allen? Mr. 6'11" himself that lumbers down the field. Can't figure it out. Oh. And number 90 is Kyler Murray. Dude. I just don't believe this. And why is the question. So anyway, and I don't know how they draft all these, do all this up, but I just wanted to bring your attention to that I know it doesn't matter to Matt Ryan. It matters to me. It doesn't matter to probably Julio Jones or anybody of the other guys, but it matters to me. But they show no respect to the national media. The national media shows no respect to the Falcons. And I wanted to bring all my 18 aliens. I wanted to let you know that this is happening in our world currently. This is all current information. So anyway, that's why I'm upset. That's why I had to jump on and get this podcast. And just getting back to, okay, so that was fun. Back to the current signings. So the new players. But back to what I was saying about Thomas Dimitroff. How he's like built. He's basically gave this team a facelift without like ripping it down to the studs and building it back up. Like, I don't know if you realize that he didn't burn the village to build the village. He did this with taking pieces out and inserting pieces that had improvements or kept it the same. Which, you don't want to, that's not an improvement if you're going to keep it the same, but if it was working. So, you got all like Hayden Hurst replacing Austin Hooper, Dante Fowler replacing Vic Beasley. Both upgrades, in my opinion. Laquan Treadwell is going to come in and compete for the third wide receiver spot. Deion Buchanan, a little depth in linebackers, excuse me. Darquez Denard going to start. Obviously, Todd Gurley is a huge pickup there. And if he works out, man, listen, just level with me. If he stays healthy and everybody can get their stuff together around him and they use him correctly, Dirk Cutter, you make me so nervous You've got the keys to the Ferrari that just has come out the shop. You got to use him the way he's supposed to be used. Now, you can't treat him like a bell cow anymore because there's probably not a lot left on the tread on the tires, which is, I get that. Running backs don't last very long in these days, other than Frank Gore. Now, but you got to be, like, respectable. Like, run him. Let him run the ball. Let him catch the ball. And I'm just excited and get creative with him. And so just all of these additions make me super duper excited for the 2020 season coming up. And I hope the season goes on. There's a lot of drama going on with baseball right now with positive tests for the COVID-19 pandemic that we're dealing with. And I hope everybody stays safe. And there's a couple Falcons, I think 2 Falcons, if not 3, have been put into the COVID-19 injured reserve list. And so they're not going to the bubble. It's like not physically feasible for like, it's a lot of personnel to have to deal with bubble situations. So I just hope everybody stays healthy and doesn't take anything home to their family and all that stuff. And I hope the listeners out there are staying healthy and wearing your mask and just grinding through this time. And use this time to listen to Rise Up Radar. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Rise Up Radar. If you like what you heard, go ahead and subscribe, rate, and review. And if you have any questions, if you have any show suggestions, go ahead and drop them in the comment section. And thank you for listening again. And until next time, rise up.